yo. Who out there? Who out there? What up, though? What up? What up?
Hey. Hey. Just want to make sure that you can hear us.
Can you hear us?
That you can see us if you're in.
Yep.
Yeah. If you're here, please let us know that you're here.
Right.
Drop it in the comments. Just say, hey. Let us know who's on.
What up, though? 2021.
Right. 2021. I saw the other day, 2021. WON. 2021. Yeah. Hey, we made it.
We made it.
We won. So if you're here, just please, just in the comments, hey, Christian. Is it Christian? I always see your name. It's so pretty. I love the way it's spelled, but am I pronouncing it right? Is it Christian? Christian? Can you write the enunciation in the comment? Right. I always see you. Thank you for coming. So glad to connect with you again. Hey, Markeisha, Vanessa, Sister Vanessa McDonald, how are you? Hi, Jamie. Tracy. Woo-woo!
Tracy at her booth.
Right. I've been hearing some wonderful things. Yeah. I got a text. I said, man, is it too late to join? Hey, we need to connect with that. If y'all still got that going on, definitely want to push it on to have it to hold as well.
Call us, give us the info.
Absolutely. All right. So if you own, just drop in. It's good seeing y'all. This how we connecting, huh? Social media, Zoom.
The Arnolds. Hey.
Yeah. Hello, Helga. Hello, Sister Doris. Happy New Year to you too. Okay, so
it's pronounced Christian.
Christian. Just unique spelling. Yes, love it. Okay, Christian.
So Karen from South Africa.
Karen.
Hey,
how are you?
Oh, thank you for doing that, Karen. Hey, listen, guys, while you're on here, drop where you're from, what country you're representing, what state, what city. Where are you representing? Drop where you are.
Yeah.
We want to know where you're at.
Yes. Today we are just going to just talk a little bit, chop it up. We want to hear from you. One thing about these lives is it really helps when we when it's more interactive. So if you have thoughts, we definitely want to check in on that comment section to be able to just see where your mind is on a certain subject and comment on that as well. Yep. Okay, so Indianapolis, Nashville, Tennessee. Yay! Man, technology is just so awesome.
I know, right?
All right. Launching the new, how is everybody? Put a colored heart in. Red is things aren't going so good. Green, things are going great. And yellow, it's okay. It's okay. Red, yellow, green, just like the stoplights. Red, it's kind of rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yellow, it's okay. Green, everything is going good. In the comments. Yeah.
Did you get your water together?
No, I didn't. You want me to get you some water?
Yeah, that would be great.
Wait, all right.
Thank you, baby. Give me some water.
God
bless you. God bless your daughter.
I want to see those hearts.
Hey, what a heart. Okay, Kristen has a green heart. New year, new opportunities. Love it. Love it. Portia has a yellow heart. Okay. We're here with you, Portia. We're with you. Jamie, yellow heart. All right, we're with you. Come on, who else represent their hearts? Listen, and if you're just joining, go ahead and drop in what state, what country that you're representing from. Tracy and Mary, you guys have green hearts. Awesome. All right, Helga, you're from Johannesburg, South Africa. What time is it there? Helga, what time is it there right now?
We're going to share.
We're going to share,
yeah.
And the two shall be one.
Right, yeah.
There you go.
There's only one of these left.
Okay. This is some good water, y'all.
Yeah.
Ambrosine, red heart, love it.
Hey, Ambrosine, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
How are you? Good. A red heart, okay. All right, we will be praying. We will be praying for you.
And give everyone the key to it again. Like the red means this, the yellow.
Yeah, red is, things aren't going so great. Green, everything is going good. Yellow hearts, it's okay. All right. We pray for our community.
Yes.
That is an assignment that God has given us. And so we've seen these hearts. This is something we're going to go back and call out your names. So it helps us to spot it out in the comment section, what's going on. We don't even have to know. God knows all things. So we definitely will cover you guys in prayer yellow, red, and green.
Yep.
Okay.
Scoot back just a little bit. There we
Okay.
go.
All right. So we won't be before you long, and we're
Yeah.
not preaching. We talking, y'all. We talking. We conversing, and we want you to have some input in this. But we want to talk about launching the new year.
Listen, and before we go into that, I just want to give a shout out to everyone that is tuning in from South Africa, because you guys are showing that no matter what, you're going to get what you need, what you need from God for your marriage. It is 1 a.m. there. It is 1 a.m. there, and shout out to all of you all for jumping on at 1 a.m. because you believe that you are going to receive something from God today. So we thank you for that, and we thank you for your faith in God.
Yes, amen.
Yeah.
So launching the year strong, and this is just to kind of give you an overview of To Have and to Hold. We started in 2018. To Have and to Hold is not for everybody.
That's right.
To Have and to Hold is faith-based, but it's really pushing God, Christ center. We started off God center, but we said, God can mean anything.
Yeah.
But when the moment when you say Jesus Christ, I know who's God. You're talking about my God.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're pushing. We're pushing a Christ-centered marriage, okay? And we realize it's not for everybody. But the whole premise is that we have all of these like-minded couples, you know, because we need help.
Absolutely.
We need, you know, connection, and we need to be able to learn and glean from other Christ-centered marriages. So it's about coming together and building one another up, okay? Tips, tools, and ideas, they are great, but if you don't have Christ in the center of your marriage, then what do you have? You know, if you don't have it. So that's what we push, and we're about winning, and we believe that you need Christ to win. So speaking of winning, this past year, 20, because we in a new year, but this past year, we won. You know, we're still winning.
That's right.
But not without a few struggles, not without a few highs and lows.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some days where you want to pull out that song. I've had some good days.
Right.
I've had some hills to climb, but I won't complain. Man, we've had some days where, you know, y'all remember the movie Malcolm X, get your hand out my pocket. Then we had some other days where we like, put your hand in my pocket. But it's just been crazy.
Right.
Man.
And you know what's funny is we would see memes, okay?
Yeah.
Now I'm real mindful of what I put out in the atmosphere. The t-shirt can be cute as all get out, but if it has a negative message, I won't wear the t-shirt.
Exactly.
But I saw some t-shirts that said, wake me up when 2020 is over. You know, you see the memes, you know, 2020 can kick rocks, all of that.
I want my money back.
I want my money back.
Right.
But we decree and declare that, you know, this is the day that the Lord has made. And every day I will rejoice and be glad in it. Regardless of what we see, we know that God is above anything that we see. And so we had some rough, 2020 was rough for me. I had a lot of red hearts. I had some yellow hearts and green hearts, you know, but overall it's about perspective.
Yeah, and see, 2020 did this one thing for the entire world. It brought out the truth serum. You guys have seen all these movies where they make them drink something and then they start telling the truth. 2020 literally did that. And by way of bringing out magnifying glasses, allowing you to see truths that you didn't know were there.
Yeah.
You've seen some ugliness that was just had been lurking maybe for years, that started rising up in 2020. And then it gave every last person in this world, every couple, every married couple in this world, it gave you a magnifying glass.
On your marriage.
On your marriage.
Yeah.
And you start seeing every character flaw, every, I don't like this about you, and why you do this, and what, oh my God.
It tested and tried us. I'm telling you. I saw some stuff. I was just some ugliness in me. Even in my personal relationship, it was just like, oh, these are some, you know, improvement areas, growth areas. Oh, absolutely. That I didn't think I was capable of. But sometimes you need a pandemic or you need a test and trial to really bring out, you know, truth. And
you know what, 2020 also showed us and showed me, you know, where I'm at as it relates to with my relationship with God. Am I a cushion seat saint in the air conditioning? You know, when the word is already cooked and prepared for me and I'm just going eating over somebody's house every week? Or am I able to cook some food myself and make sure that I don't starve? And so 2020 brought that out. It brought out, you know, days and times to where you struggled, you know, and you start questioning things and whatnot, you know. But the one thing about it, you have all these memes, all these people, and I'm pretty sure everybody on this chat right now, this live, if I would say, are you glad 2020 is over? Everybody be, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, without us knowing that we do this, whenever we feel like, man, it's a wash, I hate it, it's no good, it's nothing there, we have aggressively removed the presence of God out of our life. Yeah. We have taken him from being God in control, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, the ruler of the universe. We have taken him from that position and we said, we doing this thing ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, and when you look at the pandemic, you know, everyone felt pretty much helpless, like, you know, what you gonna do? You don't have a cure, you don't know what's going on, is there an agenda out there or what? But you start really entertaining those things and embracing those things big time when you start feeling like God is not in control.
Right.
And in order for you to do that and to settle with the fact that God is not in control, you're looking at everything as a loss. But we want you to understand this. Because God is in control, you don't have losses. You have lessons.
Yeah.
You don't have losses, but you have lessons. And see, that's when God is in control, because he doesn't allow anything to happen just for entertainment.
Yeah.
He's not that type of guy. The sun is not in the sky just for entertainment.
Right.
There is purpose.
There is purpose.
The moon is not in the sky just for entertainment. There is purpose.
Yeah.
You know, the water doesn't stay back from the land just for entertainment because, oh, that's cool. No, there is purpose.
Right.
You know, our heart doesn't beat involuntary just because that's a cool trick God did. No, there is purpose. You know, and I'm not with my spouse just for any old reason, because I looked at it and I was like, woo, that girl bad at the Eastside Lincoln game. No, there is purpose. There is purpose, man. I'm telling you.
This marriage has purpose.
Yeah. And listen, with that being said, today we are going to talk to y'all about launching this year strong.
Yes.
With just 3 simple steps.
Three simple steps. And this ain't the end all be all.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
But it's
to
a
help
way.
launch you.
It's to help launch. It's to help use that energy that we all have at the beginning of the year. Oh, I'm about to lose this weight.
Yeah.
I'm about to eat healthy and clean.
Pay off all this debt.
I'm finna launch this business. You know that energy you get. It's something about new, right?
Yeah.
So we want to use that to help us. Before we get into all those things, make sure that we're focusing on what's important first.
Absolutely. Listen, and before we move any further into this live, what we want you guys to do is to share this right now. Share it right now.
Absolutely.
Don't hold the goodies to yourself.
Yeah.
If you know what, make sure your circle is launching right.
Yeah.
It's no fun that you and your husband or your boo, y'all are striving and winning and killing it, but then your friends, they ain't winning. You know, share this right now. Start a watch party.
Okay.
There you go.
So before we get into how to launch, we always have to assess go back and let's look at 2020 and just see, just assess it to see how we did in 2020 before we can just really go strong in 2021. Right. So looking back at 2020, we just have a few questions. If you have a pen and paper near, man, grab that pen and paper and write down your answers. If not, just make a mental note. But the first, just 5 questions here. The first question we want to do a self-assessment on is, how often did I pray and worship as a couple in 2020? How often did I pray and worship as a couple in 2020? Was it often? Was it sometimes? Or was it hardly ever? And I'm specifying pray as a couple, not as an individual. Pray and worship together during 2020. Okay, write down your answer on that one.
Yeah. So yeah, and that praying and worshiping together, and you got to think about it too. Were you doing more complaining that last year than praying? You know, were you doing more whining than worshiping? You know, and so just gauge that. You know, this is for you. This is self-reflection time. We are all about self-building. Yeah. You know, self-preservation to make sure that you building what God is giving you. And so, how often did you do it? Was it, how was it? How much was it? So,
okay.
You going to the next one?
Yep. The second question is, how often did I find myself arguing with my spouse in 2020? So, thank you, babe.
And so with that being said, arguing. That's how I hijacked
Silly.
the conversation.
Right.
Look, with that being said, with you arguing, 2020 had a big, wide open door. It wasn't no straight, narrow road to Oregon. The way was wide.
Yeah.
And it was easy to
It
do
was
that.
when you're going through like that,
Quarantined
it's
up like that?
a breeding ground for arguments.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now, y'all together all the
All
time.
day?
I will say he and I, we had our share of arguments.
I ain't gonna put it
I
out there
want
like
to
that.
thump you so many times, but God.
See, hear what I say.
But how often? Often. Sometimes. Hardly ever. More than usual. Okay, let's go to the next question.
All
We
right.
won't belabor that. Y'all
No.
know. All right. The next question. I feel that my marriage came out of 2020 stronger, the same, or worse than from the start of 2020. So let's assess where we are now, how we were in the beginning, what transpired in the middle, and how we are now. Would you say it's the same, it's worse, or it's stronger than from the beginning?
Yeah, because I do know, with 2020 being as rough as it was, it makes me think about like working out. Working out ain't easy,
No.
and you're gonna feel some burn. So just what did 2020 do for you? What did you ride on 2020, or did you let 2020 ride on you? By
Yeah.
allowing your marriage to become stronger, the same, or worse?
Okay. Got two more questions,
two more.
guys.
All
The
right.
fourth question is, what were or are the wilderness areas in my marriage? So what were the wilderness areas in my or our, if y'all together, our marriage? Or what are? You may have some, we have some. And so just to kind of explain the children of Israel, they've already been promised this promised land. You know what? We hear a lot about coming out of Exodus.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's great. They made it out of Exodus. Pharaoh is dead. They are free. But they had 40 years of this wandering.
Same spot.
And the wandering is the things that you know that you in a marriage, the things that you know God has called you to as a marriage, the things you know you ought to do as a marriage or as the role, as your wife role or your husband role in the marriage, but you just never get around to doing it. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like a wilderness. You're going around that same mountain year after year after year, and you are not possessing the land. You are not possessing what it is you're supposed to in marriage. So identify, and that could be a business. That could be maybe maybe debt, or maybe you did some, you've invested in your marriage and you read some books or you've attended some seminars and you had some to-do items that you never did.
Yeah.
But try to think about where are we wandering? Wandering, WANDERING. Where are we wandering in our marriage?
And to help you to see it even greater, that wandering, you'll know that you're wandering because it'll sneak up on you. It's like you don't see it. It's like you're brand new to the situation that's happening. But then as soon as you get on the other side of it, you're like, we've been going through this. You keep responding to the same thing the same way.
Think about it. It's something you too have to be, like you're saying, you kind of have to be cognizant of it because it'll just be going on and prolonging. And it's one of those things that, like you say, it come up and it's like, but you still never get to it. And then 4 or 5 months later, you still never get to it. God has showed us some, when I say it was a correction, but he's so sweet and I love him for it. But man, we got a whooping, y'all. We got on our wandering. Okay, so
With a stick-a-bug switch.
Right, let's move on. All right, and then the last question is, what investments did I make in 2020 to better my marriage? So what did you do? Investments don't always mean financial investments, but it could be seminars, it could be a book, maybe devotions, prayer, fasting. What investments did you do to better your marriage, either individually or you and your spouse? What did y'all do?
Yeah, and so I really want you to hone in on what did you do too, because if you look at the question, it says I. You can say, well, my husband did this or my wife did this for us, but what are you contributing? What have you done? What have you been intentional about in 2020 to say, aside from the stuff you got to pay, like you got to pay taxes.
Yeah.
You're going to give God his, the tithe and the offering. You're doing that. you know, and if you're the husband or wife, whoever, and you going to work, you bringing money home, you know, to help pay bills, not that stuff, but investing in your relationship, doing things intentionally to make it stronger, to make it better, to see a different side than what the wilderness that you may have been going through.
Okay. And the thing about a year is you just think you have time in the beginning because a year just seems long, but then at the end of it, it's like a wink of an eye and a blink of an eye, and it's like, oh, it's over.
Yeah, we on day 3 already.
Well, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to get it together this year. Okay. So here we are in 2021, and we ask those questions at the beginning because we're going to circle back to them in the end. We want you to kind of have them, you know, keep them in your back pocket, okay? But we're going to launch right into 3 simple steps, okay, to launching this year. And the first step that we have is removing distractions. Distractions, this is you taking number 1, but removing distractions, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and so here's the thing that you got to keep in mind is that you're removing distractions that are there. And the distractions are only there, you know, they're always there. They're always looking for an opportunity to audition for a role in your life, you know. And you got to ask yourself the question, what distractions have I allowed to audition in my life? What distractions am I putting up on the stage? And it's like, well, why do you call it a stage? I'll tell you why. Because they're always in line waiting. They're always in the audience. They're always on the outside of the building, waiting to get in, waiting to become successful in the movie in your life. You know, but they don't see success until we allow them to get up on the stage and perform for us. You know, and when you're looking at distractions, one of the craziest things that you may think about is I'm being distracted by what other people want me to do. Even if it's your mama or your dad, you know, how they did marriage, how your brother does marriage, whoever, you know, fellas, this thing of, well, the wife got to cook. Who said that? Who said that? You might like cooking. You know what I'm saying? You got to do what works for you and focusing on, well, she's not doing this and it's a distraction. It's a distraction. Now, you will never ever get rid of distractions because they're going to always be there. Just like today, if some of you guys drove outside, went to the store, got you a soda pop or whatever you call it, you know, if you were to take a look on the side of the road, you probably would have seen some trash. The fact of the matter is, it's always there, but it doesn't have impact until you focus on it. So, you know, don't focus on what other people want for you. See God on what he wants your marriage to be, how he want you to roll as a husband, as a wife. Right.
Distractions limit you from being able to attain the things of God. It pulls you away, it deters you.
Absolutely.
And it prolongs it, it delays it. So when we look at distractions, like some examples of distractions could be social media, could be a distraction.
Absolutely.
The Joneses, y'all know about what so-and-so doing in their marriage. That's a distraction. We have a society, we have social media that tells us this is the cookie cutter marriage. This is what it should look like.
Right.
But what is God saying about you and your role? You know, even if you have a business, you know, people want to tell you how to run your business. But those are all distractions because while you're entertaining them, then now you're pushing out what God is saying for you to do. So removing those distractions. Also, we are learning here we're in our 40s, and we are learning about, you know, a couple of years ago, God was dealing with me about the glorification of being busy. And I don't know if I probably have heard this somewhere, but are you busy doing good things or God things? You know, are you Mary or are you Martha, basically? And so, you know, that story, Martha's house, she trying to get stuff together, Mary's at his feet. And what Martha was doing was needed, and it was a good thing, but are you doing God things? And we know we have to put God first. So even in our marriage, we know that this is the first ministry. And so are we putting this first? You know, this is a God thing right here. So another distraction could be our past, as well as our past, which includes our failures as well as our successes. Okay, so our failures, our embarrassments, the bad things that have happened to us, we get stuck there.
Yep.
And it becomes a distraction. It prohibits us from moving forward because we think we're not good enough. We think we're not, I'm not qualified. And so we just get stuck there. I know I have had issues that God has helped me to source where, you know, I always say he loved to have that microphone. I'm just using it for an example because he has used how we're different to kind of help each other.
Yeah.
But he's a stage guy. I'm behind the scenes, you know, director. You'll never see me.
She thinks she is.
It was like pulling teeth just to even get me to this point. But you know, God used him to kind of pull some things out of me, and then he'll use me to kind of like, okay, you know, let's slow down here, or let's, you know, kind of curve it here. But he uses that. But we can get distracted when we if I just stay stuck in my past and just say, I don't care. I ain't trying to hear you. I'm not trying to. I heard, you know, I felt God using you at times, and it's like I could have refused that and just said no and just stay stuck in what I'm thinking about myself. And God also showed me, hey, that's vanity. Yeah. You dealing with vanity. It's just a twist on vanity, but you know, not that I think that I'm so great, but that I think that I'm so horrible that I'm using that to cause me to do what I want to do. It's still being self-absorbed and making it about me, you know. So that's another distraction. And as well as your successes, some of us are riding on the fumes from, you know, 2010 when we rose the dead, you know, from just with a word and healed the sick. You know, we still
we bought that trip for our spouse.
Honing on that. Or in marriage, you know, you doing things, you buying trips back 7 years ago, but what you doing now? Okay, so what are you doing now? She's feeling empty. She's feeling I'm speaking for wives. Yeah. She's feeling a void now. Wives, he needs a word of encouragement now. Yes, you built him up in the past, but he dealing with what he dealing with on his job now. How are you building him now? So our past can be a distraction, and we get stuck somewhere. And
we absolutely get stuck somewhere. And let me say this too. God is so intentional. Mm-hmm. He is so strategic about making sure that we as his children, as the children of God, as humans, that it's really hard for we have to really put in lots of work in order to become distracted. So our vision, the way our eyes are even set, you know, I love animals. Our eyes are even set to where in order for us to, our field of vision is only 120 degrees. Mm-hmm. It's only 120 degrees. So it's only so much stuff I can see on the side before I have to literally turn my head and look. But let's talk about a rabbit. A rabbit has almost 360 degree field of vision. So I'm telling you that because if you ever watched a rabbit or even like look at a squirrel, it's like they tick. Now they have muscle reflexes, you know, these real tight muscle reflexes that help them to do that. But a rabbit, you can't get up close on a rabbit because they gonna see you. Yeah. They always watching everything. God is so intentional about us being focused and moving forward, looking forward. Our eyes don't sit on top of our head. Our eyes ain't up under here. We ain't always looking down. He got our eyes strategic. You ain't even have no choice in it. They are pointed straight ahead. Yeah. Straight ahead. So God is saying, even with our design, even with our body, I want you to be geared and set up to where it's hard for you to become distracted. You're not a rabbit. You're not a bird.
Right.
You're not an elephant.
And you're not designed to just keep looking back.
You're not.
But to keep looking forward. Right. So removing distractions, and y'all, social media. Who on here is consecration? You're going to be consecrating this month because that's one of the things that we do, right? We remove distractions so that we can hear from God.
Yes, right.
So social media, that's huge. That is a machine that is designed to distract you, to keep you there, to keep you stuck. I'm going on just to send so-and-so a little message here or just to check this, and you on there for 30 minutes just...
Yeah, the algorithms know what will distract you.
They know, exactly.
You scroll slow on that picture, so it's going to bring some more pictures like that.
It's a science. Yeah. It knows. We were talking the other day, and he never looked it up, and the moment he opened up Facebook, guess what was there? An ad of what we just discussed. We on Facebook now, right?
Yeah.
So Red Lobster. Let me know if... if y'all see a Red Lobster ad. But yeah, distractions, y'all. Starting off 2021, let's remove those.
Remove them.
The second thing is reclaiming your marriage identity and purpose.
Yes.
Okay. Here's the thing. Are we just getting married to build that house, to have the white fence, the great jobs, rearing up the kids? Then what is there to our marriage?
Yeah.
Is that all there is? If you believe that as an individual, your steps are ordered.
That's right.
If y'all, people love Jeremiah 29:11.
Oh, all day. Drink
But
two bowls of
if
that.
you believe that he knows the plans that he has for you, if you are married, if we're linked up, then he's a part of the plan.
That's right.
He is a part of the plan. And so if you know God, you know that it's not just for you to have the big house. These things are temporal. And we spend a lot of time. There has been a shift even in a watering down of the gospel, where it's taught that, okay, let's really focus on, this job and this business and this prosperity, this big house. But God is saying there is a hardier issue here, and it's the soul. You know what I'm saying? So reclaiming your marriage identity and purpose is going back to, okay, God, we together. What do you have for us to do?
Right.
If y'all are together and you believe this is divine, that this is a kingdom marriage, then it has a kingdom assignment.
That's right.
What is your work? Not your job, not you a lawyer, she a nurse, great. Now you can fund the work. But what is your work? What is your assignment as a couple? Their marriage should have kingdom impact.
Absolutely. And you know what? We will, and I don't want to say just you, but we will, God, bless me with this. God, give me more finances and help me with these things and all this material stuff. But the word says, seek ye first the kingdom.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that I love about that is that when you seek the kingdom, all this other stuff is going to be added.
Yeah.
All right. Because God, here's the thing. God know you need stuff. He knows that you need stuff. And to make sure that you are representing him well, he's not going to put you out there half baked. He's not going to put you out there struggling. How is it that you are able to successfully and really have an impact on somebody and telling them, come serve my God, and God is such a good God, but you broke all the time. You ain't bought them no groceries. You ain't paid for their dinner bill. You didn't just say, hey, I'm gonna pay for your light bill this month. Lord, and laid it on our heart. Start asking God, Lord, help me and my spouse to be a conduit of your love and your grace.
Yeah.
Let me be an extension for you, Lord. He will begin to flow through y'all.
Yeah.
But he got to be able to trust you. He got to be able to trust you. It ain't about you.
That's right.
It ain't about you. And I know even myself, Lord, help me with this. Bless me with this. You know what? Start seeking kingdom.
Yeah.
Start asking God to help you to help somebody else. Because God is all about that. He all about giving. He all about giving. I remember in church when we was little, they used to always say, oh, you can't beat God giving. I believe that. I believe that. So if you're constantly asking God, help me to be able to flow, so when I'm in the grocery store the next time, that I can just buy somebody's groceries. Why you want to do that? Not just for kicks,
fanfare,
but you want to get that person in a position of receiving.
Yeah.
So that you can give them some Christ, so that you can give them the love of Jesus, because everybody, you can pass out some tracts and say, hey, brother, get saved, sister, get saved, hey, y'all. But when you plant into somebody's life, you follow what I'm saying? When you plant into their life, you open up a portal in their heart for them to receive the love of Christ.
And it's both of you.
Both of you.
That's the thing that we have to get out of our minds. Like I said, you have an agenda and a cookie cutter of what the world, my business. And my husband supports my business, and that's great. Yeah. But what are y'all doing together? What are y'all doing together? And we have to constantly, because in my own self, there are commitment issues, and we have to keep reclaiming. I do have to keep reclaiming. Okay, this is what God has for me to do. Okay, we dabbled in there, that didn't work. We dabbled in there, but no, God is having us here. We are doing God's work, and sometimes we get in the way of that ourselves.
Absolutely.
When we get into it, it's easy for me to say, well, I don't feel like filming with you right now. We have a whole whiteboard of things that God
Two of them.
of things that God has given us to do, and we get in the way. I'm being transparent. We get in the way of it sometimes, and it's sometimes we'll be into it, and I just won't move forward. Sometimes I'm tired.
Want to watch a
you
movie?
Want to watch a movie? When we know
we have assignment.
We got an assignment, or sometimes I have writer's block.
So listen, I want to say this. I want to say this, babe. Listen, we talked about this, and not to cut you off, but we talked about this, right? And we put ourselves in God's place. And what I mean by that, we looked at our children. So our kids, if we tell them, hey, you need to go do these dishes, and we come back an hour, 2 hours later, nothing is touched, it's a problem. That's flat out disrespect. Did you not hear me tell you to do those? Did you not hear me tell you to vacuum? Did you not hear me tell you to do this? And it's like, we're doing that with God. But because we feel like we don't feel him and see him right there all the time, we get a pass.
Right.
And we're able to just say, well, we'll do it tomorrow. It ain't even our.
It's not even our call.
Yeah.
And there's no convenience factor here.
None.
It's be about God's business.
Yes.
And that is what we are launching our 2021 year with, is being about God's business. Self-control is one of the fruits of the Spirit. We need to operate in self-control.
Absolutely.
Our feelings should have no effect. Yes, I'm mad, but let's be about God's business. And so that is a part of just reclaiming that purpose. Pick up from where you left off and move forward in the power and the strength of God and what he has called you to do, not what you feel in the moment.
And I'm going to say this. You don't want God to two things. You don't want him to not trust you and remove that assignment from you. And you don't want him to give up on you doing what he wanted you to do.
Right.
You need to check yourself. Go into the mirror.
Like we did.
Go look in the mirror and ask yourself, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are that you can say no and yes to this? This ain't even your call. Who do you think you are? You know, our children, if one of them, didn't do what we told them to do, they need to go look in the mirror, because they don't want me coming to get them. And they don't want mama coming to get them, because that's not going to be really good for them. But the best thing to do, the easiest thing to do is really to check yourself. And, it's hard to do that when there's a lack of consecration.
And I like what Christians 2 says here, that tomorrow isn't promised.
Absolutely.
I mean, y'all, to be honest, don't we think like
Christian.
that? I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it. Okay, we got that tomorrow. We've done that so many. You want to watch a movie?
Yeah.
You want?
I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired. We'll do it tomorrow. Oh my gosh, tomorrow
Get your
isn't
butt up.
promised. Note to self. Okay,
Right.
all right. So in reclaiming your purpose and identity for your marriage, it's just a renewal of the mind, and just saying, you know what, we're about to be about God's business. And if you don't know what that is, that's okay. Seek him.
Seek him.
Seek God
Together.
on that. Together. You'll find it.
Yeah.
You will find it. Okay. The third thing and final thing, ready yourself for the attack. Come on, y'all.
Now, let me say this.
Go ahead.
When the reason why you have to ready yourself is because when the enemy knows that you have sought God on finding your identity and your purpose, he knows that you have been analyzing what's been going on. And he knows now that, he's aware now that his cover has been blown. That not only has he been attacking you, but there's been several days where he has given me one of his tools for me to attack her.
Yep.
Because he knows that I know her vulnerabilities, because I have a trusted view. I get to see her backside. I get to see the sides that she don't like showing people. And if I can take one of the enemy's tools, I'm going to know exactly where to hit her at. I'm going to know exactly where to cut her at in those weak and vulnerable places that I'm supposed to be protecting.
Yeah, so readying yourself from attack is knowing that it's going to come, that our weapons, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
That's right.
Okay? This is a spiritual warfare. And so, God, like he said, the enemy is going to come in and he's going to use the things that he know that can break Nia down, and he's going to try to use him to do it. But to prepare yourself is not leaving that house without the full armor of God.
That's right.
How many have left the house with only bits and pieces on? I know I have. And you know how you know? You say, well, how you know? You can't see them. But when you driving and maybe you get worried or you get discouraged, okay, I don't have my shield of faith with me.
Yeah.
Because I am succumbing to these thoughts and my evil imagination. You know, I'm subjecting myself to the people out here that's clowning. I'm giving them all that power.
Yeah.
Road rage, you driving. Oh, he cut me off. Now I'm trying to speed up and not let it roll. I don't have my shield of faith. You know, preparation of the gospel of peace. When how does the word or the sword? How does the word spring up when you need it? You know, okay, maybe I left that at home, but when you are a target. And so you have to keep on the armor of God, the whole nine, the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the shield of faith, the sword of the spirit, and the helmet of salvation. We always have our helmet on, right? We go out with our helmet on, but you have to be cognizant of, okay, you know, this is an attack. When you are working together in ministry or in a business with your spouse, I'm telling you the devil is coming, but we will not be ignorant of Satan's devices.
That's right.
And we have to call it for what it is. We have to be able to see the enemy and know that it's not you.
It's not me.
It's not you, but it's the enemy. It's been times where I can see, okay, you letting them use you. You know, check that. Get that together. Watch what you say. Why? Think about what we really argue over. Sometimes it seems so trivial. Sometimes there's an underlying issue, but a lot of times it's trivial. What's that last argument we got over? Now,
see, that's the thing right there.
And I'm like,
you
right,
don't even
I
know
can't
what
remember.
it is.
It was so silly. I'm like, oh, and we didn't work on what we needed to work on, and I can't remember. Oh, I wish I could remember. See, I can't even remember, but it was so trivial, and we shut down for some hours. And I'm like, that is so silly. It's just stupid. But that's what the devil will do. He'll make a fool out of you and he'll laugh at you.
Yeah, because you know what? He don't fight fair.
Yeah.
He's very strategic.
Man.
Because here's the thing, and I'm stepping back just a little bit. Once you have that purpose and that identity right for your marriage, now you're in a position to be a threat.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's the reason why he's going to also attack you, because you're a threat. You understand that this marriage was designed by God to be fruitful, to go out and help other couples. So what happens is you done ticked him off because all of his assignments that he had for you, your kids, your dog, and your cat, you know, you are messing those plans up because now you're being that example in the household. You're not only being that example in the household, you are showing other folks outside of the house, you know, what kingdom marriage looks like, what a Christ-centered marriage looks like. People that maybe were looking at you and you didn't even know it, but they're encouraged now because they see y'all making it. They see y'all loving on each other and treating each other. And people want harmony. I don't care how tough you think people are, they want harmony. Yeah. They join gangs because they want harmony. They want togetherness. You know, so if you can show them that through the love of God and his grace and how you're showing patience with your wife and patience and grace with your husband, you know, when he don't put the toilet seat down and you don't turn up and, you know, see, that's what I'm talking. You ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do that. But the key is making sure that you ready yourself for the attack. The craziest thing you could do is go out the house. You ain't even got to go out the house. Wake up in the morning thinking that you ain't going to be attacked. When we say ready yourself for it, I'm not talking about stand there and brace yourself for the punch. No, you start looking for them. You know, one thing I love about lions.
Oh, go ahead, lions.
Yeah, lions. They could be rolling around, playing in the grass, doing whatever out there in the Serengeti. But let something move. Yeah. Let something catch. Let something stand out of the normal, out of that's not just grass flowing in the wind. Their eye is keen to it. They are always watching. They have a built-in feature of no opportunities wasted. Yeah. Lions, they will go and just pounce on something just because they've seen it moving. Because they are predators. They're built like that. to where they're going to always be on the hunt. You have to always be on guard with the devil when it comes to your marriage. Because, hey, the moment you said I do, he said, let's get them.
Yep.
Let's tear that up because they're trying to stop some generational plans that I had. And so we need to come against that. You be ready for him.
Yeah.
You know, I used to pray, Lord, protect me. Don't let me get attacked by the enemy. My mama told me, she said, boy, look, if you get attacked by the enemy, you get stronger with God, you're going to get bigger muscles that you're going to be able to handle bigger devils. So, Lord, yes, protect me, Lord, but teach me how to fight.
Yes.
Teach me how
us,
to
Lord.
fight. Teach me how to fight. Who am I if I can't protect my family and can't get on my knees and pray and push back my plate and say, Lord, help me.
Yes.
Help me,
us,
God.
Lord.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Glory.
Help
Thank
us,
you, Jesus.
God. Help us, God.
So you tell God, Lord, teach me how to fight.
Yeah.
Teach me how to beat this flesh down. How every time this happened, I always get upset. I always find myself in this same wilderness situation. And you got to come back. Baby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Cut that mess out.
Yeah.
And tell Lord, teach me how to fight.
Yeah.
I need your help.
Yeah.
Stop punking out. Stop punking out. And Lord, you know, the devil, he just, no, you busy. Hey, and tell the Lord, say, Lord, help me. Help me. I'm tired of laying down. I'm tired of being a punk in this situation, having to come back and apologize and get stuff together.
Cut it off at the past.
Move
Cut it
forward.
off. Right.
Move forward. And see, when we talked about the Exodus piece, yes, God brought you out, but that ain't the joy right there. That they shouted, clapped the tambourines, made up songs and everything. But he took them out of slavery, gave them an exodus out of that into the wilderness so that he can see that they trust him. And that wasn't even the end of it because he had a promised land for them. He had something greater for them. God has something greater for your marriage. I know you even may feel like right now, man, we doing good. Well, guess what? You still ain't in the promised land.
Ooh,
because the moment you say, I'm in the promised land, you are saying with your own mouth and your own actions that God ain't no deeper than this. He ain't no greater than this. He can't do anything greater for my marriage than what it already is. He doesn't have any more depth for me to get into. He doesn't have a higher place for me to experience as a husband, as a wife, as a father, as a mother, you know. And so there is a promised land. There is a promised land. But understand this, you have to ready yourself for the attack.
Yeah.
Ready yourself. Wrap your hand up. Get ready. Stand there and get ready to attack back. See the enemy coming. You know, that's the thing too. If we get into it and get in an argument, I don't care what you say, you can see it coming. You can see it
Feel
coming.
it brewing.
You can, and you know what? The Lord allows you to see it and feel it coming. That's why the people say the hairs on my neck start standing up. That's a sign.
I'm people.
That's a sign. That's a sign.
Yeah.
My ears start getting hot. That's a sign. You need to, hey, the enemy is creeping up on you right now, and he's using you. He's using you. You know, so you got to be able, you cannot quench.
You had a fork in the road in that moment.
You had a fork in the road.
You know, you had a fork. There's your spiritual warfare right there.
Yes.
Like, what, are you going to choose life or are you going to choose death?
Yeah.
You have a choice to make in that moment. And it's your words that can just turn that thing right around. They say, it throws a heap of coals on a cold heart. A soft answer turns away wrath, but
love.
I guess it's love. Oh, drawing a blank. But the point is a soft answer turns away wrath. So just in how you answer can literally turn something around. But that flesh, oh my God, this flesh.
You ain't gonna do me.
Right. When God was giving us this and we started looking into Ephesians 6, I'm like, oh, well, this is a Sunday school lesson. You know, that's how I'm thinking. But I had to write it down in my book because I said, I want this etched in the fiber of my being.
Yes,
I want to be able to recite. And it's Ephesians 6, 10, and 18. Okay, I want to be able to recite that. There are some scriptures, y'all, that we need to commit to memory.
Absolutely.
So that we can use it because it's a weapon. You know, the word of God is a weapon and we need to be able to use that. And you need to be able to, when you get in your car, even if you have to split off a little bit, and that's okay if you have to split off. There's nothing wrong with taking a break because both of y'all hot.
Let God give you some one-on-one.
Yeah, let God get you one-on-one. And also, you need to tell the devil, not today.
Not today.
And start quoting scriptures right at him. Throw scriptures at him. That's where the power is in the word of God.
That's right.
So we want to use this. You notice we didn't talk about how to get the business and the prosperity and how to, you gonna get that. You're inundated with that on your social media and service, whatever. But there are some things that we have to put in the forefront that are spiritual. I think, and I should have mentioned it earlier. I saw some earlier, but these things are temporal, y'all.
What's that scripture again? Ephesians what?
Ephesians 6:10-18. And if we was thinking about it, we should have put it up on the screen. But it's Ephesians 6. You want to just type it in there? Ephesians 6:10-18. Okay, but you got it.
Yep.
Okay, but we want to use this in the beginning, and we want to focus on the things of God. And there is going to be a pruning and a peeling back, and God is wanting to do a new thing in you so that you can impact your marriage, so that your marriage can impact the kingdom. And so there's a second wind in the beginning of the year that we all have.
Yes.
And like I said, we weren't talking about the losing weight and the dieting, but we're talking about kingdom things. And so removing distractions, identifying what are the distractions and getting those gone, reclaiming your marriage identity and purpose. Yes, your marriage has purpose, and there is kingdom assignment on your marriage. You may be a dentist, but guess what? That's a job, and God wants to use your job, but what is your work? What is your kingdom assignment? Okay, and so reclaiming that, and if you don't know it, that's something that you pray to God, show us.
He will show you.
Guess what? If y'all come together and y'all praying, why would God deny that to you? He will show you, and it will be clear, and there will be agreement in your spirit.
And know this, that if you seek him and ask him, if you're asking him, God, show us our assignment. The Bible talks about how no father is going to give his son a stone. He's asking for bread.
Yeah.
So go to him knowing with faith that you're about to receive. And I will tell you this, when you do it, and God is not a genie in a bottle, okay? You can't just go up and rub on him and ask him to give you what you need.
Right.
You need to consecrate yourself so that you can hear, so you can have clarity.
Yeah.
Because
Use this time.
distractions are always jockeying for a position to get in your ear.
Yeah.
And they come in all type forms, but you need to, at this moment, with this thing right here, because it's so important, you need to remove all distractions and consecrate yourself.
Yeah.
Tear your flesh down. Push your plate back.
Yeah.
Pray. Start you a devotion.
Together,
God, just to do it. You got to do it together. You got encourage each other.
Yeah.
Because if y'all two are together, y'all can go against the whole world.
Yeah.
Y'all can go, because you're forced to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're not just two, you're three. God is in the middle. He's that core. He's wrapping you tight and strong that you cannot be, you will not be broken.
Yeah.
You will not be broken. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. That's good. That's good. And I think we hit on that last one. Ready yourself for the attack because it's coming. You are a target. And when you're about kingdom assignment, guess what? They coming after you. But like your mama said, you bigger devils, bigger muscles, right? Bigger spiritual muscles. You trust and believe that. So we want to leave you with this question. Okay, this question is, what do you, and we didn't put it up on the screen, so you may want to type this. What do you want for you and for your marriage for 2021? What do you want that to look like? And I really want us to focus on the spiritual things. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all these, and his righteousness, and all these things will be added. So let's focus on some of the things that we talked about. What do you want for you and your marriage for 2021? What can we focus on? Going back to those first questions, okay? That's between you and your spouse.
Yeah.
That's something that we hope that after this session here that y'all can talk about it. If your spouse is not with you right now, that's fine. Maybe later on today. But talk about some of those answers, because we honed in on you assessing yourself as a couple, you assessing, the peace or the contention that you may have with each other.
That's right.
And also your wilderness areas. That's huge, because those are areas that God want to bring you out. He wants to give you the promised land in those areas in your marriage. So identifying the wilderness areas in your marriage, and also ways to invest. This year, 2021, how are you going to invest in your marriage?
You got to.
We first off, having to hold is free. Get on here. We glean from each other. Iron sharpens iron, right? So get on here with your marriage, with your married self. And we want to hear from you. We want you to post. Our online community, it's a private community, but sometimes you run across things that may bless you and bless your marriage. Share that. There are maybe principles that you follow, things, tips, and tools that you can share that other couples can learn from.
That's right.
Man, share that on the page. Get on that page and share, because that's a community page. Also, other things that God has given us for this year, just stay connected with us so that you won't miss out on those things. And shortly after this, be looking out for a survey that we're going to ask that you just fill it out. It's going to be less than 10 questions, but we want feedback from you. We want to know, what topics do you need to hear? What topics would you like us to address? And we just kind of want your feedback on just to having to hold as a whole, how it has benefited, and also some suggestions and comments about to having to hold.
Listen, and I'll say this too, guys. Some of you have not checked out this bucket list, but if you would take the moment, take a time for you and your spouse, guess what? We're still going through this pandemic. We're not back at a normal. I don't know if we will ever see a normal again. But go to our website, download your free quarantine bucket list. It's for married couples. And if you are a marriage hopeful, you can go and download a bucket list for a marriage hopeful.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, these are tips, tools, and ideas to get you back at a point to where you are removing distractions. You are identifying your purpose and your identity. You're reclaiming those things, and you're readying yourself for the attack. Here is something free. This is free. Now, it's going to take you doing some work.
And it's fun.
Yeah, and it's fun.
It's fun work.
It's fun. And it's some hot, lovey work too. Yeah. Hallelujah. We about to go.
Right. This is a club.
Break time. Hallelujah.
All right. Yes, the bucket list.
Kristen did the bucket list. Awesome.
Yay. The safe. If you got pictures, man, post some of them some of them clean, safe pictures.
Hey, listen. And so the folks that are on here, if you are saying, I am ready to launch strong, just type in the chat right now. I'm ready.
Yes,
I'm ready. Let me see you type it. I'm ready. Go ahead.
Ready.
I'm ready.
Woo,
I'm ready.
woo.
I'm ready.
Get excited.
Come on. Yes.
Even if you're here by yourself, man, get excited.
Yeah.
Get excited.
Even
for
if
what
you
God
don't feel like it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Even if you don't feel like it. Our old pastor used to say, it ain't based on no feeling. It ain't based on a feeling.
Keita say she ready.
Yeah.
Christian, Markeisha, woo, yes.
I'm ready.
Hey, y'all, trust me. We talking to ourselves over here.
Yeah.
Man, we so ready. 2021, the devil been alive for too long.
Too long.
Right? So God is going to do great things in our marriage, and we just going to stay connected. And, man, that's it. That's all.
And listen, and I'll say this, guys.
Nicole, Dana, yes. Jamie, Kayla. Amen. Y'all she said, I'm so ready. Yes. We also have just, if there's something that you heard, if somebody's on here alone, and maybe it's because your spouse is at work or your spouse isn't available, whatever the reason is, and you have to convey this, or there may be issues and you are standing in the gap for your marriage. If you want us to touch and agree, we have what we call a prayer pop-up.
Yeah.
And that has been a blessing to us because we have started praying for couples all over. And we literally read your prayer request and we call out your name. Yeah. If you include your spouse, we call out your spouse name. And even especially when he prays, I hear other things that I didn't read that. Yeah. But I believe that spiritually God is just giving you insight. And we don't know you from a can of paint, right? But you have somebody across the world praying for your marriage.
Fighting with you.
If you have a situation, even if you want to remain anonymous, maybe we can't call your name out, but we can pray for you. We ask that you include your name so that we can call your name out and we can touch and agree that God do what he needs to do in your marriage. He is going to do it.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you just need help. Hey, we will definitely pray for you. And so we encourage you to use that as well. But more things to come. We're excited about 2021. 2021. WON. 2021. I love that. I love that. Okay, so we're 4 minutes over.
All right. May the Lord what?
Right. All right, guys, we got to end this. It's been great. It's been great connecting. It's great to be back and to get this thing going. But like I said, we got a whole whiteboard, and you know, we just gonna be pulling it down and pushing it out, and bless God. And I know the more that goes out, the more he fills in. So we got some things in store, and we're excited about what God has for this year.
Listen, and after this, go to the community. Whatever blessed you, whatever touched you, share that.
Yeah, under this.
Share that. Because people are delivered by your testimony. They're delivered by your testimony. And there may be something you heard that everybody else maybe didn't hear. And so share that, man. Share that. So we bless you guys, and we love you.
We know you want to win.
That's right.
we want you to win. But most importantly, we know God is rooting for your marriage to win.
He's like, get it.
Be blessed, y'all.
Be blessed, y'all. Love y'all.